What's up, world, and welcome back to the Global Frequency. I am Nefarious.
And I'm Frequency.
And today we are joined by the one and only Pedro Ang, creator of Tropical Magicks, here to tell us all about his comic book crowdfunding campaign, live now on Indiegogo. Pedro, what's up?
Hey, I'm here in Panamanian Witness Protection Program. But no, seriously, guys. Like there's been like a power outage at 4 a.m. today, so I've been without power, so not being able to work, and it's been so hard. And
I know.
Yeah,
I saw your Twitter post earlier. You were really suffering, holding up your phone, reclining in the pool. So I don't know how I'm gonna get anything done today. We can't do any drawing. It's a wasted day. Yeah. You know, I feel for you, brother. I feel for you. Are you drinking all of the beer in the fridge now so that it doesn't go bad and get warm?
Exactly.
Is that what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, because
I wish I could shoulder some of your burden.
Yeah.
Share your pain, my friend.
It's horrible.
Real quick, let's say hello to the people in the chat that are with us so far. We've got Sim Poitier. Check out Tales of Natverse number 2. It's currently live on Indiegogo. We've got B-Rose. He's got that Sarah's bum. He's trying to unlock that standee so he can get his life-size waifu. We got Mo Biggs. Mo Biggs is going to time me out for saying the word waifu. That's it so far. We got 3 people hanging out with us right now. We're just getting underway. Talking to Pedro Ang. And why don't we start off trying to get to know you a little bit better? Where are you from?
I'm from Panama, even though you can't see it. But I'm from Panama, Latin America, where the canal lays. And I studied in the U.S. and Canada for a while, but I got married and got back here, and I made my career down here in advertising, and COVID basically destroyed advertising. So a change of career wasn't at hand, and I looked into why I went into animation in the first place, and it's because I love to draw. So comic books it is.
Hey man, that makes sense. When did you start reading comic books?
I started reading comic books. My brother is 2 years older than me, and he started working at a paper recycling company. So one day, like I always drew. So one day he comes like, "Hey, you draw, catch," and it was like a trash bag full of comic books, like complete disorder. And there was like X-Men in disarray. There was a lot of like Daredevils. There was a couple of Captain Americas, but the one that really caught my eye, because I was really into monsters at that time, and it's not really that famous. It's a short 6-issue series by Jim Starlin called Breed. That thing blew my mind. It blew my mind, and I know it's not that famous. Like not many people know it, but dude, if you can like find it, read it, because it's like hybrid humans and demons and fighting against hell. Really, really good.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Man, B wanted to know, is Pedro still poolside?
Yeah. No, I'm not poolside because the pool is really close to the road, so you will hear like a lot of cars. So now I'm at the balcony right next to my room.
In the hammock drinking.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Yeah, I can believe that.
It's a horrible life.
It's a Panama man sighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there a particular book that you fell in love with that inspired you to try making one of your own? Like, is Tropical Magic kind of inspired by a book that you read?
No, not really. Tropical Magicks is more inspired by movies. But if I can say a series that inspired me to go into comics, that should be World War Hulk. God damn it, the beer's hitting me. Yeah,
dude, I loved World War Hulk. That was my favorite
Yes.
run. Yeah, seriously. So
that
good.
thing, like, dude, I went crazy. Like, I was married at the time. My wife then thought I went nuts. Like, you are not the Hulk. Yeah, no, I'm not. You know, just it was amazing, man. Loved it.
Greg Pak did a great job on that series.
Yeah.
So Ale is here. He says, "What the fuck, Pedro? Where the hell are you?"
He's in the dark. He's in witness protection.
Yeah, exactly, Alan. There's a power outage.
Hey, John.
They're working on it. What's up, John? Yeah, they're working on it, so I can't really complain. But it was major damage because there's no light, man. They've been at it ever since the morning. But
I mean, it was. It's probably fun to have a blackout for one day, but like I was saying to you backstage, you have a blackout and you get to hang out in your pool and drink beer. In the Northeast, we get a blackout and I have to spend the day shoveling the driveway. So it's not fair. I do not agree with this setup that you got going on.
I mean, to be fair, when we have blackouts in the summer, you can hang out in the pool. It's currently winter.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, and we have to drink all the beer before it goes flat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what kind of books do you like to read, and is there anything currently out there on the stands that excites you?
As in comic books or books in general?
Comic books. We don't talk about books on this channel.
Oh, okay, cool. Not just making the caveat because I do read books too, but I mean, I'm sticking to CG, man. I'm sticking to CG in regards of comic books because mainstream, like I was disillusioned with mainstream ever since the Ball and what they did to Iceman and all that. It's like, okay, this is leaving me behind. So I'll have to say books that I've enjoyed a lot are Starlight Cats. I really enjoyed. I was surprised by Starlight Cats, Chrono Mechanics, and Black and White. Yeah, I've been like basically reading. I didn't get Cyberfrog because I got I backed Wreck Planet, and I'm getting both books now. So I'm waiting for Cyberfrog, but I haven't read it yet, so I don't have an opinion on Cyberfrog yet. But so far, CG is fixing my comic book needs.
I was actually kind of sad that we had a snowstorm today because there are a few books on the stands that I still read, and 3 of them came out today, and I couldn't go get them. No Mantras, no Lady Mechanica, no We Live For Me.
Nobody cares.
I was sad.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Have you read any other books from like the smaller creators in CG? I'm not going to say like Graveyard Shift or nothing because that doesn't really count. Have you read anything like I don't know Lost Pages or?
The thing is like I'm not new to CG, but I started backing recently. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting for a lot of like new campaigns to relaunch to see if I can get like the back issues because I'm kind of a late bloomer here with the community, but I've been doing a lot of work with a lot of campaigns doing their trailers. So there's also that, right? So but I want to catch up with everything, but as I said, like the mainstream is not really catching my eye at all.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. There are a couple of random titles here or there, few and far between. Generally, I'll follow like a writer or an artist. Usually a writer artist. And when they're doing something for a studio, I'll check it out. Like, I always go back and say Daniel Warren Johnson, he did that run on Beta Ray Bill. Yeah. Dope. It was working for Marvel. Yeah. Before that, he did Murder Falcon. It was for Image. The guy is good, so I'll read his stuff, but it's not like I'm
new limited edition.
He's doing a wrestling book now
or something, and then also
he's doing the wrestling book. That's the thing. It's not like we read from a particular industry publisher. It's like more like you follow creators that you like, and that's one of the great things that I find on Indiegogo. There are hundreds, literally like hundreds of books that came out this past year that I had to read through to the best of the years and stuff. So it's really exciting because like you were saying, you get your comic book fix from a CG from indie, and it's like I get a new one every month, or more than one
awesome.
Every month. Or sometimes I don't get one for 3 months and then they all come at once. But you can really find
that's also very cool.
rolling release,
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't want to be like insincere. Like, I'm not really a comic book fan ever since I'm a kid. I'm more like, I was really drawn to animation, and my career has gravitated around animation. But I had this like lateral love of comic books, but I can't say I'm a collector. So this has been a learning curve.
Right.
And there's parallels between animation and comic books, but at some point the techniques starts to fight each other, and that's something that I've learned through the process of making Tropical Magic. So, dude, I'm a student again, and I love it.
Yeah. No, Amanda, I didn't get Ed Gein because I didn't get my Lady Satan yet. I make a habit of not backing creators until I get the first book from them, before I back the second book. It's just kind of a personal rule of mine because I want to see what they put out and if it's good and I like it before I get into the next one. It's one of the things about having like multiple campaigns going at the same time or one after the other before you fulfill.
Mo says, I feel like the stream could be educational for him, but I think I missed. He's talking about Connery because Connery is doing school. So yes, the stream could.
What's up, Christian Fandom Geek? Thank you so much for stopping in, man. He got a sexy DM group going on Twitter. I suggest everybody check it out. He's also got a really cool, I think it's a Patreon, right? That you can subscribe to. Pretty sure it's a Patreon.
I don't remember if we said hi to Ollie. So hi,
Ollie. We also Mo said he didn't get his copy of The Embrace. That's too bad, man. That's like, I've seen so many people getting it now. I think Odin is spiting you on purpose. I wasn't aware of that, but it makes total sense. Yeah, I know. I haven't also been able to get a hold of Lucifer for a while. Like, he used to stream regularly. He had Lucifer's Lounge. He had sponsorship from a local taxidermy shop. So he had this pet crow. I mean, it was a cool setup. I liked the guy, and he disappeared. I don't know what happened to him.
He says, did you guys see Brandon Sanderson, the writer, broke
$25
million on Kickstarter? That must be a record, and that four surprise novels to be released quarterly in 2023.
Yeah, and we don't even know the names yet. we don't know what they're about. It's just like, Brandon Sanderson is writing something. Throw money at him. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically. So I think he currently is now the top most funded Kickstarter ever, like out of anything that they've had on the platform. And it was basically like, for a long time, his fans have been like, we want you to do boxes, like quarterly boxes with books and stuff. And so that's essentially what he did. But I saw a really funny meme that was like, I was showing like Pandemic 2020, and Brandon Sanderson wrote 4 secret books on top of everything else. And it was just like, it showed Patrick Rothfuss and George R. R. Martin, like, because they still haven't finished any of their books.
Mo says it's not Ogden. The tracking number makes him think that it got lost in the mail. He's been saying it's late, but still coming for a week with no actual updates. And RJ says everything domestic, minus the signed copies, are out. There's a huge chunk that are sitting delayed in the hands of the post office. They blame the weather. I mean, I blame the weather too. It's a snowstorm outside right now. Pedro's got a blackout. All sorts of stuff is going crazy. But I stand by the idea that Odin is engineering The Embrace, getting to Mo late just to mess with him for all of those comments about the grandma chair.
It's all about that drama.
Yeah, right. Lucifer went back to hell. He'll be back. Okay. I guess. I emailed and he responded with that. Dang, I was not aware of the Lady Satan stuff.
A little off.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm behind. Let me ask some more questions. So, you mentioned earlier that you were in advertising, and in the eternally wise words of Kara Nicole, these days everyone's got a side hustle. Hers is OnlyFans.
Yeah.
What is your side hustle? Do you moonlight as someone with a day job?
Well, the thing is, like, I'm an animator. That's my trade. I studied animation in Vancouver in 2002, and I worked there for a year, but then I got married. I got back to Panama. So being in Panama, like, there's not that much demand for animated content. So basically, I'm an editor, I'm a compositor, I'm an animator. Like, I have to do it all because there's no like animation teams there. So basically, that's what I do. I service like local TV stations in Colombia, TV stations in Costa Rica, all of South America. I do some storyboard and like really small advertising animation for the US, and that's basically my trade. I've been doing this for 25 years. But since
So
TV started dying with the advent of Instagram and TikTok,
would you say that because you went to school in Vancouver for animation, that you have some sort of formal education in storytelling through sequential art? Maybe?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey,
like
there we go. We got a winner.
Like 20% of my. What's that?
I said we got a winner.
Yeah, 20% of my work is storyboard work, and that's basically storytelling. Mm-hmm.
So which do you prefer? You said you like drawing and you got into animation because you like art, and then animation kind of slowed down, and you went back to drawing comics. Do you prefer drawing? Do you prefer drawing still frames, or do you prefer doing animation?
Yeah. Oh, dude! Like I'm using my data. Yeah, I'm using my data. So.
Oh, is there like a lag?
I'm gonna
say yes.
That's possible. So
to me, it's all the same. Because basically, a still frame, it's a drawing within the sequence. What I really had to adapt to is I need to spend more time on drawings, because mostly I'll spend 20 minutes on a drawing, and after that I start getting anxious, because that, as a rough animator, that's how you work. So in doing comic books, I have you can take your time now. So that's one of the many hurdles I've encountered adapting to this new medium of comic books. But yeah, like I used to do a lot of CGI, and that's something I really don't enjoy. Yeah, that's something I really don't enjoy. So yeah.
Okay. So when did you start writing for comics?
Yeah, sorry. The thing is, I'm using my data, so it's really roboting.
You're okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
We're here. So I was saying, when did you start writing comic books? How'd you learn how to write for sequential art?
No, those are crickets, guys.
Oh, it does sound though like the wind chimes. Not wind chimes, it's crickets.
It's a UFO.
See, that's what Mo Big said. I haven't heard so many crickets since Rob's last roast attempt.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rob doesn't.
Mo Big even know the background
sound. That I read some books. Yeah. Okay. So I've handled a lot of script for movies. So I've had. It's crickets. Oh man,
It's all good. It just reminds me of the hello.
It's okay, Pedro. Don't worry about it, man.
I don't know if he can still hear us.
Uh-oh.
Because the background noise on his end
has disappeared.
So there.
Oh, so he's going to leave and come back.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to improv. So one of the cool things that I noticed about this campaign is that Pedro is working with Mark Mulgrave. Mark, also known as Gingerton around these parts, has a show with Pedro. And I didn't know that, I noticed a while back that they started streaming together, but I didn't know that they had a regular routine. And I think it's cool when you can make a relationship with another creator, start streaming with them. So, kind of like a symbiotic relationship like B-Rose and Phoenix have, but then take that to a professional relationship to the next level where you're creating something together like a book. I don't think B-Rose and Phoenix could, do that, but Pedro and Ginge have managed it.
Yes. And it. Sorry, man.
No, you're good.
Yeah. No, I mean, Ginge has been like a great resource, and I'm really thankful that he's working with me because, yeah, he's helping me out. Like, I've already wrote script for movies, like as I said, and I've directed shorts and whatnot. But doing a comic book, it's a whole different ballpark. It's basically showing moments more so than showing sequences. So I have a whole structure of the story, and I basically know where I want to start, where I want to end, and how I get there. But choosing the moments, like Ginch has really helped me on that one. So basically, yeah, the book is done. It's 72 pages. It's already done. Everything's drawn, and Ginch had a big part in that one. Sorry, truck.
That's okay. So yeah, Ginge is also the editor and the letterer for you, and it's really cool that the two of you collaborated. You said the book is entirely done, which is like, you know, really exciting that you have the book ready to go. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the world of Tropical Magicks? What exists in this setting?
Okay, so basically the setting is you're starting in a world that it's a mix between Cheech and Chong and Mad Max. And that's like the elevator pitch of the book, because these two guys are veterans of an event called the Spell War, and the Spell War destroyed the world. So these are two guys who are really powerful. They have like magic powers, whatever, but they are extremely riddled with PTSD, and they don't trust themselves to excel at anything. So they're living not in squalor, but they have like a quick fixing company, like they're day laborers. And they go from town to town doing like little jobs here and there using their magic. And as the story progresses, they're presented with this contract that makes them choose to save the world again, even though they don't trust themselves to do so because they've already tried and failed. So yeah, I was watching this Kurosawa film called The Hidden Fortress. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
And the Kurosawa film, yeah.
Yeah, so you know that in that movie, like the story's told through the eyes of two peasants, as they see like daimyos and samurais and princesses doing like awesome things, and these two guys are just thinking about their next meal. So I took the inspiration from that movie to tell this tale, because these guys, they see themselves as nothing, and it has to do with how they got their magic powers. But once I finished the book, I decided to make 8 pages of prologue to make people understand what the Spell War is, because that informs how they act. Because if you don't have those 8 pages, it would be very erratic. Like, okay, these guys are very powerful, but why are they so meek? And it's because of that. Like, basically, magic awakened in the 22nd century. So our technology is really advanced, but magic users changed completely the game. And governments weaponize the magic users. So when they weaponized the magic users, like war erupted, and the magic users noticed that they were more powerful than any government or any army. So they became tyrants and started like slaughtering people and obliterating armies all over. And then you get 2 magic users armies called the Golden Mean and the Southern Cross, and they meet in this city in Mexico called Chetumal. When this event happens, basically a huge wave surrounded the world, destroying everything, but nobody knows what really happened. 80% of the magic users died. No, 90% of the magic users died, and the ones who survived don't know what happened. So in this scenario, the magic users that survived nobody trusts them. They're pariahs, and the only like government body that survived this onslaught was the UN, and they used that like an AI to rebuild. But this AI turned into a tyrant herself called Lore. She calls herself Lore, and it's basically like a vegan yoga instructor that rules the world. And you have to do what she says, when she says it, and yeah, it's like complete tyranny. And if you don't live under the rule of Lore, you live in squalor. So that's basically the setting of the book. That's where the story starts.
I mean, it's believable. It's a setting that we can kind of envision playing out today, kind of like a nightmare scenario, but not too far distant from what we could believe. So for our 2 main characters, who are the antagonists that are kind of getting in their way, and what are the obstacles that they have to overcome across the course of the story?
So basically, in the beginning, the first antagonist is procrastination. So the antagonist is themselves, because they don't believe they can make a difference. But as the story progresses, Lore, she basically has these sensors that said, like, hey, more than 3 magic users are together. Okay, send in the troops. And she has this court called the Children of Chaos, which are basically enhanced humans, like enhanced humans with technology, and they go hunting for them. And they don't know. They're just like hired to do a mission. Like the motivation in the beginning is money. So as they progress through the mission, the Children of Chaos are behind them. So you basically see how they progress and how the Children of Chaos are slowly catching up to them. And it comes to a head by the end of this book. So the story is completely contained. Like the story's told, but there's like a little cliffhanger for 2 more books. 2 or 3. I don't know. I'm still deciding if it's gonna be 3 books or 4 books, but I want to make it a finite story.
So that is your plan, is that it is an ongoing thing, but it does have an ending that you have envisioned. So you're writing towards an end point. I really appreciate that when a creator kind of picks the story arc that they want to tell. They know that they have a destination and they can write for that destination. It helps them not, I say, write off of a cliff, because that can definitely happen, especially in books. And that's why we don't talk about them. So technology and magic are at war in this book, in a way. There was the Great Spell War, and now Lore, this artificial intelligence, vegan yoga instructor, has come along, and she's sort of trying to regulate magic use. But in a lot of the books and stories that we have where technology and magic are clashing, it's a lot like science and nature. The magic, is it coming from like ambient sources in nature, in the universe, or is it something people have to like dedicate themselves to study, more like wizardry?
Okay, so basically magic here is genetic in nature. So when magic awoke, it was chaos, because you could be like working at your like a call center, and then you burst in flames because you're like a fire user. So there's only 3 power sets. You have fire, water, and gravity. So out of the 3, in the beginning it manifested, and it was chaos, like a lot of people died and whatever. So the governments rounded up all the magic users and put them to sleep, and that was supposed to be the solution. But secretly they all started institutes to weaponize the magic users, and they started calling them spellmongers. But these spellmongers are not only magic users, they invented technology to channel the magic. So it's not so much magic against technology. It's more so magic with technology focusing it.
Gotcha. So if you could have one of the powers of the magics in your setting, which one would you want?
Oh, I would definitely want Aquar, which is the power to control water. Because that's the most gruesome of the 3 is, and that you don't only control water, but you control oil, and you control blood. So you can basically drain people of blood, make them move at your will. You can cure them. So yeah, it's kind of gruesome. And I have to tone it down a bit, because it got really gory at some point, and I want to keep it PG. But yeah, the power is there.
That's crazy.
What would you pick?
Gravity.
Fire. Oh, I thought you
Gravity.
Would.
No, 100% gravity.
That's what I was thinking. I would pick gravity.
Gravity.
I would give you a fit of vertigo and you'd pass out. I'd increase the gravity on you 10 times and turn you into a pancake. Like I would turn gravity off and you would fall upward. Or like I would create gravitic centers and make you orbit them, like all sorts of. I'd turn you into a centrifuge. You know what I mean? Like all crazy stuff.
Mobix wants to know: can you turn their blood into oil?
Yeah,
you can mix it with oil. Well, actually, there's a thing that I didn't put in the book, but it's in the art book. there's an explanation on how an aqua can reverse the bloodstream of a person to basically make him bleed out from within.
Yeah, you reverse the blood flow. You can make the heart explode. You could make them sweat blood. You could pull it out through their capillaries, make them vomit. I mean, like any type of, it's flow control, right? It's not so much transmogrifying the liquid into oil as it is deciding what the water in the blood does.
It's gonna do.
I don't even know. Maybe you could turn it solid because you can freeze water. I don't know if you could control the temperature, but you could also probably clot the blood if you make it sit there, long enough, and give them aneurysms and hemorrhages. Okay, we're talking some really messed up stuff here. I'm gonna stop because my imagination's going wild.
So say goodbye to Hockey.
Bye, Hockey.
It was so good
to
see you in the chat. We miss
Thanks
you.
for hanging out.
And Greg wants to know, he says, but can you weaponize bodies?
Body fat
Did you figure out how to do the Dave Brink?
Has water.
Fat does have the water content. That's true.
Every gym could use a gravity guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you even gravity, bro?
Do you even gravity,
bro?
Wow. Nice.
Awesome.
Mo says B Rose is still trying to harness control over his own coon. Glad I read that.
Well, I mean, B Rose is still trying to harness control over his own tears too. So like maybe B Rose needs to learn some water magic. So let's look at the campaign. One thing that I noticed about the campaign page is it is super clean. The graphics on this page look so dope. I love how graphic forward it is, how you sort of made everything in Photoshop. You added your own custom fonts. I'm probably going to sneeze. You added your own backgrounds, and then you put everything on top of them. You did this all yourself, right? I mean, it looks so good.
Sir.
I'm a big fan of the colors.
Thank you.
You are a fan of the color. I'm a fan of the colors too. I love the way that you positioned everything inside of those long scrolls of image. I like the fact that you didn't use the Indiegogo fonts either, because there's something that really bothers me about the Indiegogo page font is that you can't change the size, you can't change the inflection, like you can't really make it look
the way you want it to. You only have so much control over
exactly. I much prefer doing something like this where you can cook up your own graphics, add your own art on top, and string words together using any font that you want. So I'm a fan of you paying the extra attention to detail and making the campaign page look really good. Let's talk quickly about the tiers. Now, you've got a few. You decided to adhere to the keep it simple, stupid formula, right? I'm going to look at the tiers, kid. So I'm going to do this.
Why?
What?
They were listed
on
the bottom. Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Go ahead.
So you've got this full plumbing featured tier. Tell us what's up there. Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay.
It's everything. Everything in the kitchen sink. So basically, the full plumbing involves the main book, a cover made by RT Bear. I don't believe it myself that such a legend is doing a cover for my book, and the art book, which is basically all the concept art and the trip of making Tropical Magicks. And I'm including the first trading card, which is the Huanca card, and you get those 4 items on the featured tier, on the full plumbing.
So I had a question. How did you decide the names of these tiers? You got the full plumbing. Where did that come from?
Yeah, because I figured these guys are like day laborers, so they do menial, not menial, but they do like housework. So they can do plumbing, they do brick and stucco, they do building up walls. So yeah, I thought it would be cute to put those names on the tiers.
Very cute.
I dig that. Yep.
That's a good deal. You get 3 books and a trading card for $60.
Right. And the art book, right? That you see here, the source book. Is the source book in all of those tiers or just on the brick and stucco?
Just on the brick and stucco and the full plumbing.
Okay, so it is in the full plumbing. Tell us about the source book. That's the 8 pages of setting information like that.
Yeah. It's 40 pages of art and information on how Tropical Magicks came to be, which, I mean, it's really, really personal, because it all started with me being homeless for 2 days during the pandemic. And I don't know, I laugh about it now, but it was very scary at the moment. Because, I was in a relationship that didn't survive the pandemic, as it happened to many people, so I'm not special in that regard. But I ended up homeless in the middle of the pandemic, and at that time the city wasn't locked down, so I couldn't come to the property I am today, like, because this belongs to my family. So I had this here, but I couldn't get out because I needed like a written permission from the government to get out of the city. So I slept in my car for a couple of days, and then an aunt of mine allowed me to stay with her for a couple of days. So in this like stage of fear, I had this vision that I can show you now, because I mean, that's in my computer. I did an illustration of a destroyed Panama City with 2 guys looking at destroyed buildings, and these 2 guys were Juanca and Miguel, the protagonists of Tropical Magicks. They didn't have names. It was just like an image, and it's like, okay, these guys are telling me a story. And from there, I start developing like the semblance of what it was, what it ended up being, but it was something completely different. So in the art book, you're going to see the 8 pages of the comic book that I started and stopped, with legends on why I stopped it, and the designs, and how like designing the informed how the technology looked. So you're going to see a lot of like drawings of like ships and vehicles and whatnot.
Some concept stuff.
And so like I think you guys are going to enjoy that.
Yeah, I really dig the ship that you got there with like the weird insect legs. It kind of looks like the Fly. It kind of looks like a VTOL aircraft with rockets and a giant minigun. Yeah. You can never go wrong with a spherical cockpit and a minigun, man. Like,
exactly.
I like that design. I really do. I really also like the idea behind the setting, how you've got separation between far more civilized and technologically advanced society, and a more like I guess like a rural setting, to the point where it feels kind of like Mad Max, and it's desolate. And we did something like that with Mavericks too. You haven't seen it yet, because the 3rd book is where we dive into that. If you got the tier that includes the flash drive, there is information about it on there, so keep your eyes out for that. But I like how you did that same thing where you sort of divided the technology from the wastelands. How did that come to be in your setting? Like, how did like the cities versus the rural areas? Is it urban rural? Like, how did you organize it?
So basically, during the Battle of Chetumal, which is a city in Mexico, something happened that not even the spellmongers remember what happened, but it created this huge wave that went all through the world, and basically made Latin America barren. So all the scenes of the desert are basically the tropics.
Gotcha.
I don't show the cities, but the cities that survived are encapsulated in domes, and it's like completely technological, but people don't live in apartments or whatever. They live in it's basically like a little coffin that you go in, you wake up, you go to Starbucks, drink your coffee, go to work, have like this goop that has all the nutrients you need, because that's what Lord thinks you need, and then you go back to your coffin. That's
so you
the price.
Own nothing and you are happy.
Yeah, exactly, and you'll be happy. So that's the price of living in Lord society. So the people who said screw that basically left the cities, and they lived in basically the desert, scrounging water whenever they can. There's a lot of like, I'm taking a lot of, I was reading a lot about Appalachian witches. And the water witch, it's something that really caught my eye. Like those guys that go with the 2 divining rods looking for water. So there's a lot of that in the squalor cities. Like everyone has a trade, but they're trying to be a little bit more natural, trying to like shy away from technology, but they really can't. But it's basically like a technological, naturalistic view of the world, just because they're opposing lore. And they survive because lore doesn't really care about those humans. But if they get in the way, they will be completely wiped out.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about the stretch goals that you have on the campaign?
Oh yeah, I'm keeping the stretch goals very simple. It's gonna be a set of the cards of the heroes, and okay, once you back, you already get the Juanca card. But the first stretch goal is gonna be a Miguel card. They always have stats behind. I mean, I'm gonna make sure that they look really awesome. And then you get a Carla card. Oh, sorry, beer. And that's Miguel. You get the Carla card. That's the one of the heads, the leaders of the resistance, called the Railroad Underground. And the last stretch goal is the card of Nanny, which is Carla's bodyguard. If you play the trailer, you see a robot that looks just like Nanny. Okay, this is basically a weapons grade droid, and they were part of the Spell War. So Nanny is a repurposed war droid that serves as a bodyguard, cook, and basically he takes care of Carla. Yeah, the Nanny. Yeah.
Do you want to play the trailer? Yeah, you're pretty well renowned in indie comics right now for doing trailers. It's like you and Red Gaze, you know what I mean? Like those are the names that get thrown around when people talk about trailers. How long did it take you to make this one?
This one, it took me 3 weeks to make.
And Ryan Cardinal too. He's got some trailer
Arman in the chat said Pedro is the master of trailers.
Yep. So why don't we take a look at the trailer real quick?
Let's do it.
We'll play it. Come on. Play the trailer.
Rolling.
Do it.
Nice.
Yeah. So it looks like you had 3 magic users distinctly in there. You had the one shooting the blast of fire, you had one meditating underwater, and you had that like purple one that looked kind of like
the one meditating, that was Lore.
Oh, that's Lore. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lore does not know how to manipulate water.
No, not really. Lore, it's basically a megalomaniac with the power of telling people what to do.
If Lore wasn't such a vegan yoga instructor, I might like it a little bit more. Yeah, the whole megalomania.
Oh no, dude! Lore, I designed Lore to be hated. Everybody's chip. It's not like Lore suggests you to go to sleep. She will put you to sleep. Like it's her world, her rules. It's despicable.
Frog G says that vegan yoga instructor needs to be taken.
I agree.
Yes, sir. And dude, she's always talking about chakras and be aligned, and because she rules herself by an algorithm that will be explained later, and this algorithm is according to lore, is keeping humanity alive. So it's basically the villain that thinks she's doing good, but she's really not. Because yeah, because to her, free will is a threat to survival. So yeah, screw her.
I mean, it is. We choose to indulge in our own destruction to some degree, right?
Yeah.
So why crowdfunding? You know, you said you've been like hanging around the CG scene for a while, and you just started kind of getting into backing. Why decide to crowdfund this?
Oh, freedom. Like I mean, down here, I don't want to say like I'm a big deal, but it's gonna sound like I am, but I'm really not. But as I said, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I'm one of the signees of the like Panamanian film law. So all the movies that are being made in Panama, which are not that many, but I mean, you get like a $2 million budget to make a movie, and that's paid by the government. Like it turned bureaucratic so fast that I was just like very disillusioned with it, and I just walked away from all that. Even though I helped build it, but now it's just like the son of Minister whomever. Now he's at the head, and he took like a 6-month course on filmmaking, and now he's like the head of filming in Panama. So it's that kind of situation that told me like, dude, this is not really for me. So when I started watching like CG, and not only watching like the greats, because I mean I have to be completely open. I got into CG because I knew who Dan Fraga was. So as I go in, I see the freedom of people like, okay, I'm a nobody, but I have my campaign. I mean, I mean nobody in the best possible way, but it's like I'm not a known quantity. And I'm making $40,000 on a campaign. It's like, dude, this is freedom. And there's a pathway to get there. You know what I mean? Like I might not do it in the same campaign, but you only have to be consistent, treat your customers well, come up with great product, and dude, it's freedom.
No, it makes a lot of sense, and I agree with everything you're saying about that. You can pave your own road, and it's kind of like everyone's doing it together.
I don't know about that. I'm just a guy with no power in his house right now.
but beer and a pool. So
it's like
and a hammock.
And a hammock. Yes.
I mean,
it's living the life.
That is
so you're a little over a week into the campaign, and you're 50% funded, or about off to a good start. What are your plans to keep the momentum going and get eyes on them?
Yeah.
Do you have like a show schedule?
Awesome. No, the thing is,
podcasts?
I think we have some
I have a pretty decent schedule of shows lined up, but dude, I'm ready to go anywhere I need to go, because I want this to be the rest of my life. That's how I feel, and yeah, I'm all in, guys. If you need like help with your trailers, hey dude, I'm open. I'm actually giving priority to indie work more so than doing another like chicken bouillon commercial. Which they call me, and it's good money, but that's my past now. That's how I feel.
We'll definitely be contacting you because I like the way that you do. Definitely certain parts of that trailer really speak to what our brand is all about with Mavericks. So it's all giant robots and military action and stuff. We are definitely going to be in touch, because I want more animated portions, less just After Effects placed on our art. I want more of like an exciting animated trailer. So we'll definitely be in touch about that for our next campaign. What words of wisdom can you share with first-time creators trying to get into crowdfunding comics of their own?
What's that?
What words of wisdom, what advice can you share with first-time creators trying to get into crowdfunding comics of their own?
Well, I don't know. Like at this point, I feel like Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. Like I know nothing. I see nothing. Like I'll let you know once my campaign is done. Like right now, I'm not nervous. I don't want to say nervous, but I'm taking things as they go. So the only advice I can give people is, dude, keep calm. Because you see a lot of things, amazing things happening in crowdfunding. Like people getting funded like in the first day, or people getting like over six figures and whatnot, and that's amazing and good for them. But that's not your journey. Your journey is yours, and it's yours to experience. So take things as they come and be grateful, because that's how you advance.
Yeah, that's some really good really good advice. I also like the idea of networking and connecting to other people, and it seems like you've really done that. Like you said, you got an Art T Bear cover, which is dope. Like you said, I don't know how you did it either. I am going to pick your brain about it, because that would be awesome to get some more like of the established guys to be doing covers for our campaigns. It would feel like we're doing more
the
collaborative stuff.
I can tell you. Yeah, the thing with RT Bear, I can tell you right away. I showed my belly. Like, okay, I'm watching a Fraga stream, and I saw Art was invited, and he was showing the first campaign for Black and White. And I redesigned Black and White in a more like animated, more like Danny Phantom style. And I sent it to him. I sent it his way. It's like, oh, I love it. Oh, you love that. And then I animated a run cycle of Black. And I sent it his way. Like, no money involved. Just me taking time, like, in between jobs to do this kind of stuff. And dude, like 4 to 6 months after that, 4 to 6 months after that, Art contacts me like, Pedro, do you want to do a book for me? Like, okay. So I did Black and White High Octane, which is like a more like animated style of Black and White. And it's a 22-page book, and it's already done. I already sent it Art's way. And then he said like, hey, Pedro, do you want me to do something for Tropical Magicks? Like, okay. So that's the thing. Like, dude, if you have a talent, be generous with it. Because I wasn't expecting Art to give me a book.
Mo wants to know, how come Bancroft never showed you run cycles of Black on his show? As if I don't know. Jokes. Good jokes.
We also have to say hi to 24 Eyes.
Yes, 24 Eyes came on in here.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, I have shitty internet. That's the only explanation.
It happens.
And the problems with the power started last night. Yeah.
So it's been since last night. Oh yeah, you said
he
like
was on
3
Bancroft last night.
Yeah. Like that stinks. No, I saw him on Bancroft, but
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying.
I said I saw him.
Yeah, dude. I finished the Bancroft show on my phone like today.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know. Like, it's been very freaky with the power lately. I don't know why.
Well, I don't want to like kill your data or drain your phone of battery, because if you don't have power, you should probably keep the thing charged. We are going on the hour. We got just a few minutes
lagging
left. Is there anything else you want to say to the audience before we kind of take off?
Maybe not.
No, I can hear him. He's still there.
Mm-hmm. The thing, I can't really hear you because it's freezing on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Oof.
I was just asking if there's anything else you wanted to say to anybody before we sort of wrap up the show. And that would probably be, yes, he would like to say some things, but unfortunately the internet, the blackout, and the connection are making it somewhat difficult for him to do that. So don't forget to go back.
No, dude, I have unlimited data. The thing is, like, there's limits to what you can do with the. Yeah.
I think we have lag again.
Serious lag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
So I think we'll probably wrap it up then.
Yeah.
Anything I want to say? Okay, so. Sure. Sure. Guys, check out Tropical Magicks. I put my all in it, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy it. And if you don't, please let me know, because as I said, I'm an eternal learner, and I'm here to learn. And this is my first book, but it's not my last. Like, since Tropical Magic is already done, I'm already working on another book with Ginge, and I'm planning doing Tropical Magicks 2 for the fall. And I'm gonna be around, guys. So yeah, like I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, back Tropical Magicks. The book is already done. We're planning on going on printing right after we finish the 60 days.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, and spending time with us. I know it was a little bit rough with the connection, but thank you for sticking with us and hearing Pedro out.
Thank you, Pedro,
we're super excited to see what the book is all about. And don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications.
And tune into the frequency.
We'll see you next time.